Okay, so this is a bit of an experiment, and on the right hand side here we've got the Sony ZV-E10 Mark I with the kit lens, and everything's on automatic. In fact, it's on the intelligent auto. It's got the eye tracking on me, and that's fine, and the ISO keeps moving, and it's just on automatic. I've got a key light, I've got lights around me, and on the other side we've got the Tail 2, which is again on automatic. I've not got it set, I've got it here on the phone so I can see what it's doing. You can hear me through both. This is the Sony ZV-E10, and the Tail 2 doesn't have a microphone of its own, so I'm using the Hollyland Mark II, which is just a little microphone here. The reason for this experiment is nothing to do with sound, it's to do with the visuals. And what I'm going to do is, because they're completely on auto, I'm going to turn off all the lights. Now I don't have any natural light coming in, I've got the blind down, and I've got a couple of lights around. There's a light behind me that's not switched on, which is this one just here, that's off at the moment. And then I'm going to turn off, first of all, my key light, which is just over here. It's quite far away, it's normally at the desk. So I've turned that light off, and you can see obviously there's a little bit of a difference because of the way it is, and that's fine. The next part of this is the true test, which is actually turning off the individual lights here, and they all go off at the same time. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because the OBSBOT Tail 2 has a system called night mode. Now it gets pretty dark in here when I turn off all the lights, so I'm going to do that right now. And that's kind of what it is, and you've got obviously the light from the phone coming through. On the Tail 2 there's nothing there, but if we go over to the phone we can see in the bottom left hand corner 3 little dots, and there's an option here on the camera which is night view mode, and we'll turn that on. Now you have to stop recording when that happens, and I'll hit record right now, and then what I can do is I'm just going to turn the key light back on but without any of the other lights. Now that key light is quite bright, and straight away the Sony has kind of like picked it up as quite a bright light, and then the OBSBOT Tail 2 has actually picked it up and it's kind of adjusted it. Again, we're completely on auto, and I'm not doing anything to this footage whatsoever. So now night view mode is off on the Tail 2 and the Sony is just automatic. Now the thing is, this one light, of course, if you don't have a light like this, like a key light, then it's going to be quite difficult. And if you're in a situation where you're filming, say for a music venue or something like that, you might not have a key light, you might just have lights around. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to turn the backlights on and nothing else. Now, of course, with just the backlights on, then of course you can't really see my face very well because it's adjusting as much as possible. I can see the Sony sort of overexposing there, and so is the Tail 2. They're just trying their best to kind of lighten the mood up whilst also recognizing the face. Let's now do the opposite, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on just one of the lights instead of just this side light, which is just across here. So we've just got this LED strip going on here, and that's it. No other lights are on in the room. These lights have a cool trick where they can actually, they've got a microphone, and you can actually listen to your voice and move accordingly. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn them all on to that system. So when I don't talk, it'll be dark, and when I do talk, it'll flash. Be aware this has got flashing lights on, so of course if you are photosensitive, be aware of that. All right, so as I talk, this is quite a dramatic thing because every time I talk, you've got lights going on, different colors, and this is a really clubby environment, maybe if you're on stage or if you're in a bar. And again, I won't talk for a second. And what I want to do is just see how quickly they respond. Now the difference with this is the Tail 2 is on night view mode. I'm going to turn night view mode off on the Tail 2. And for some reason, the microphones are picking up some weird noise because they're flashing a little bit, but not too much. So as I talk, you can see it's just completely changing all the time. There's a little bit of noise in the background, there's a little bit of noise outside, someone's mowing the lawn, and it's just crazy how quickly these lights can change, but also how sensitive is the sensors for this to actually pick this up. So for this scenario, this is kind of, you know, a flashy, clubby scenario, and there's no white light, no static light. It's just a case of multiple lights going off all around you, and how are these cameras picking it up. The fun thing is, obviously, as I'm doing this, it's quite interesting to see how the AI is figuring out for both the Tail 2 and also the Sony. And this is just something that I really wanted to experiment with, because the night view mode obviously is for night and for dark, but also because it's also bright, what's it going to do in that scenario? Let's get it back to some kind of normality, shall we? Okay, so we're back to normality, where I've got sort of the blue lights behind me, I've got white light on the side, white light here, no key light whatsoever. Let's turn the key light back on. And the key light is at 5600 Kelvin for those who are interested. And I think it's on something about, where are we? 14%. Let's bang it up to 20%, just for the hell of it, why not? So you've got a little bit more light. And of course, this is a lovely scenario to be in, where you've got, you know, nice lighting, and that's all fine. I just wanted to see what would happen, obviously, with the Sony and the Tail 2. Let me know what you think, because of course I've kind of paired them up a little bit. The Tail 2 is at 1.4 times zoom, just to kind of give it the similar look, similar sizing and similar look. So let me know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. I think it's pretty impressive. Now, the one thing that, of course, the Tail 2 can do that the Sony can't is, if I double tap my face, is it can now track me. And that's one thing that, of course, the Sony can't do at all, because it's static. And you need a very expensive gimbal or a very expensive piece of kit on top of the normal digital SLR for this to be able to do this, whereas the Tail 2 can do it by default. It's incredible, and it can just track you really, really well. If you want to learn more about the Tail 2, have a look at this video here.